Welcome to all. Today we are going to see Earth stations. The learning objective of today's lecture is we will learn role of an Earth station in overall satellite communication. Types of Earth stations with reference to size and complexity and type of service. Earth station architecture, design considerations of Earth stations, and Earth Station subsystems, Earth Station figure of merit, and services offered by the Earth Station. Let's start with the introduction. How we can define an Earth Station? An Earth Station is a terrestrial terminal station mainly located on the Earth's surface. It could even be airborne or maritime. These located on the Earth's surface could either be fixed or mobile. We can see from the figure. The Earth station is located on the surface of Earth, will communicate with the satellite in the space. The Earth station is intended for communication with one or more manned or unmanned space stations that, as we have seen in the first figure, there are two satellites with which Earth station will communicate, or it will communicate with one or more terrestrial stations of the same type via, again it can use one or more reflecting satellites for communication or other objects in the space for communication. So we can see in this diagram, there we have seen the Earth station. One of the Earth station want to communicate with the another same type of Earth station. They communicate via the terrestrial, or we can say the reflecting satellites or other objects in the space to this Earth station. In most of the applications related to communication satellites, Earth stations transmit to the satellite, or it will receive from the satellite some of the informations. Or in some of the special applications, Earth stations will be used only to transmit to the satellite or only to receive from the satellite. So receive only Earth station terminals are mainly of relevance in the case of broadcast transmissions. For example, everyone know that direct to home television antennas on the roof of everyone's house, so that will act as only receive from the terminals, or it will act as a receive only Earth station. Transmit only Earth station terminals are relevant to data gathering applications, such that there are some of the satellites which will be used for navigation purpose, for military applications. So there are surveillance satellites, we can say, that will only transmit the information to the Earth stations. Major subsystems comprising an Earth station will include: number 1, transmitter system, receiver system, antenna system, and tracking system. In transmitter system, whose complexity will depends upon the number of different carrier frequencies used and the satellites simultaneously handled by the Earth station. Whereas in receiver systems, that will depend on the complexities, again depends upon the number of frequencies and the satellites handled by that Earth station. Whereas the antenna system is a single antenna used for both transmission and reception, which will use the multiplex arrangement to allow simultaneous connections to multiple transmit or multiple receive chains. Tracking system will ensure that the antenna points to the satellite, and terrestrial interface equipment, then primary power to run the Earth stations, and test equipment required for routine maintenance of the Earth station and terrestrial interface. So there are near about 6 to 7 subsystems that will include in a Earth station. Earth station design is always governed by the type of service provided by the Earth station. So mainly there are 3 categories in which Earth stations are classified, that is fixed satellite service Earth station, broadcast satellite service earth station and mobile satellite service earth stations. Again, depending on the quality of service to be provided will be on that, these earth stations will be dictated, as that will be depending on what should be the antenna gain to the noise temperature ratio, earth station G by T ratio, type of communication requirements of the earth station such as telephony services or for data communication or for television communications. Then again it will be depending on the international regulations, cost considerations, sites constraints. So this quality of service provided mainly dictated by all these categories. The earth station is characterized by frequency bands, that is 6 by 4 gigahertz or 14 by 12 gigahertz. So this is in this 6 by 4 gigahertz, 6 will indicate the uplink frequency of the earth station and 4 will indicate 4 gigahertz frequency is nothing but the downlink frequency of the earth station. In the same way, when we are using the Ku band, 14 gigahertz is the uplink frequency and 12 gigahertz is the downlink frequency. Again, earth station will have the another characteristics of polarization. So there may be two kinds of polarization, linear polarization and circular polarization, as well as the kind of antenna we are using, what is the diameter of antenna, then what is isotropic effective power radiated. These will define the characteristics of antenna, G by T ratio, receive antenna gain, modulation type used by the antenna. Then again the type of accessing methods, that may be FDMA, that is frequency division multiple access, or TDMA access, and so on. These are some of the characteristics of an earth station. Now we can see what are the different types of earth station. As we know that earth stations are classified on the different services provided by them. Here each earth stations are categorized on the basis of type of services or the functions provided, and sometimes it may be classified according to the size of the dish antenna. So first we will see, based on the type of services provided by the earth station, they are classified into the three broad categories: fixed satellite service earth stations, broadcast satellite service earth stations, and mobile satellite service earth stations. Earth stations are again categorized into three major functional groups depending on their usage. These categories are single function stations, gateway stations, and teleports. We'll see these one by one. For the first, fixed satellite service earth stations. So under the group of FSS earth stations, we have the large earth stations having antenna gain to noise temperature ratio approximately equal to 40 dB per Kelvin, and we can also see this FSS earth stations in figure. Then medium earth station will have the G by T ratio of 30 dB per Kelvin. Small earth stations are having some G by T ratio of near about 25 dB per Kelvin. Again, there are very small terminals with transmit and receive functions which will have some G by T of approximately 20 dB per Kelvin, and very small terminals with receive only functions having G by T ratio of antenna is 12 dB per Kelvin. So in fixed satellite services is nothing but a terminal that is mainly used in North America. The service involves the use of geostationary communication satellites for telephony, data communications, and radio and television broadcast feeds. FSS satellites operate in either the C-band, that will be range from 3.7 GHz to 4.2 GHz, or the Ku band, that will having a range of 11.45 GHz to 11.7 GHz, and also the Ku band will have another range of frequencies 12.5 GHz to 12.75 GHz, and that will be specifically used in Europe. and 11.7 gigahertz to 12.2 gigahertz will be utilized by USA, United States of America. So we see here how a large earth station will be. So this first diagram will give us the idea of a large earth station. Then very small terminal that will be used for both to transmit and receive will be look like this, or this is the example of transmit and receive earth station. And at last a very small terminal that will be only used for receive only, that is nothing but our television dish. D2H dish is nothing but a receive only terminal. This will, we know that only we are receiving when we are using communications or we are using the broadcast television. FSS satellites operate at relatively lower power levels as compared to broadcast satellite services satellites, and therefore these FSS satellites will require a much larger dish. So larger stations will have larger dish. Also FSS satellite transponders use linear polarization as compared to the circular polarization which is employed by BSS satellite transponders. The next type of earth station is the broadcast satellite service earth station. The group of this earth station have very large earth stations and having their antenna gain to noise temperature ratio is near about 15 dB per Kelvin and used for community receptions, and small earth stations with G by T ratio of 8 dB per Kelvin used for individual receptions. Technically, when we consider BSS stations, as it is known by the International Telecommunications Union, which is abbreviated as ITU, refers only to the services offered by satellites in specific frequency bands. Now, these frequency bands for different ITU regions included here, that is always in gigahertz. 10.7 gigahertz to 12.75 gigahertz will be used by ITU region 1, which comprises Europe, Russia and Africa. ITU region 2 will have the frequency band of 12.2 gigahertz to 12.7 gigahertz, and which is, this region includes North and South America. Whereas the third region, ITU region, which comprises Asia and Australia, and the other regions which are not included in region 1 and 2 will utilize the frequency bands of 11.7 gigahertz to 12.2 gigahertz. This International Telecommunication Union adopted an international BSS plan in the year of 1977. Under this plan, each country was allocated specific frequencies for use at specific orbital locations for domestic services. It is also known by the name of Direct Broadcast Service or DBS, or more commonly as Direct to Home or DTH. That everyone knows how DTH will work and communicate here. The term Direct Broadcast Service is often used interchangeably with DTH to cover both the analog and digital video audio services received by relatively small dishes, that is for receive only dishes. The next type of earth station is a mobile satellite service earth station, MSS. This group of MSS earth stations have the large earth stations having G by T ratios of -4 dB per Kelvin, and medium earth stations with G by T ratio of -12 dB per Kelvin, and very small earth stations having G by T ratio of -24 dB per Kelvin. While both large and medium earth stations require tracking, small mobile satellite earth stations are without tracking equipment. Satellite phone is the commonly used for mobile satellite services. What is a satellite phone? Is a type of mobile that connects to satellites instead of terrestrial cellular sites. Mobile satellite services are provided both by the geostationary as well as low Earth orbit satellites. So this MSS will be provided by geostationary as well as by the LEO orbit satellites. We know that with geostationary satellites, they are located well above the surface of Earth, near about 16,000 km from the surface of Earth. So that in this case there are 3 or 4 satellites can maintain the near continuous global coverage. So only 3 or 4 satellites will be required to cover the entire area of the Earth. These satellites are very heavy and therefore they are very expensive to build as well as to launch. Geostationary satellites based on mobile services also suffer from some noticeable delay while making a telephone call or using data services. There is frequent absence of line of sight between the satellite and the phone due to number of obstacles present in between them. There may be different kind of obstacles, terrestrial obstacles or some other types of obstacles will be there. So this disadvantage of the geostationary satellite system will be overcome by the help of or by the use of low Earth orbit. A low Earth orbit satellite system, in the case of this LEO satellite system, an obstacle would block the satellite access but only for a very short time interval, that is until the another satellite passes overhead of the user. Only for that particular time its service will get blocked. Otherwise continuously the satellites will be tracking the mobile phone. The major advantage of LEO satellite based on communication system is worldwide wireless coverage with no gaps. There is no gap between some of the area will get missing. So everywhere there is the communication which is worldwide coverage. A constellation of LEO satellites would be required to maintain uninterrupted coverage. So Iridium and Global Star are the two major LEO satellite systems that will be offering mobile satellite services. Whereas they are above from the Earth's surface but which are nearer to the Earth's surface or near about 200 km from the surface of Earth. As we have seen in the previous lecture that LEO orbits will be from 500 km and above. So in comparison with the geostationary satellites which are very high or which are very large away from the Earth's surface, near about 35 plus something kilometers away from the Earth's surface, LEO satellites are nearer to the surface of Earth. So this Global Star and Iridium are two types of LEO satellite systems, where Global Star uses 44 satellites with the orbital inclination of the satellites is near about 52 degrees. The polar regions are not covered by the Global Star constellation. This is one of the disadvantage here. The another LEO system is Iridium, which operates about for 66 satellites which are orbiting in polar orbits also. Radio links are used between the satellites in order to relay data to the nearest satellite connected to the Earth station. So we can see here the Iridium system, how this will be located, which is nearer to the surface of Earth. These are satellites. So such kind of near 66 satellites are orbiting, so that will cover the entire coverage of the Earth. So we can see here there is some terrestrial network, and this is phone booth, Iridium handset will be there, pagers. So these are some of the communication mediums, PSTN mobile. Iridium system control system will be here. This is the gateway. So each and every individual will communicate with one of the satellite, and these satellites are also interlinked with the radio link, so that will relay data from one satellite to the another satellite. So this will give you the uninterrupted coverage or uninterrupted services to the mobiles phones. Now depending on the functions that operated by the Earth stations, we have three types of Earth stations. Single function station. Single function stations are characterized by a single type of link to a satellite or to a satellite constellation. These stations may transmit only or receive only or both, that may be used for transmit as well as receive purpose. So examples of these single function satellites includes televisions receive only terminals used for TV reception by an individual, or satellite radio terminals. Receive only terminals used at a television broadcast station to pick up some contribution feeds from the broadcasters. So only for that specific frequency we can access the specific channel. So we are only using the receive only terminals. Our television dish is nothing but receive only terminals. Or for two-way, that is, these stations may be used for both receive as well as transmit. Two-way terminals, that is very small earth station terminals used at retail stores for point of sale communications with corporate hub, as well as handheld satellite telephone terminals designed to work with a single satellite constellation, and many more. So these are the single function stations. This is the example of television receiver only terminals. Everyone knows this television dish. Gateway station. So gateway station serves as an interface between the satellites and the terrestrial networks, and also serve as transit points between the satellites. These stations are connected to terrestrial networks by various transmission technologies. So that transmission technology may use the wired network or wireless network. In case of wired, it may use coaxial cables or optical fibers for communication purpose, whereas in the wireless transmission techniques, it may use the microwave towers. So as we know that single function earth stations, it is used only for one of the function, just as for uplinking, for transmitting, or for downlinking or receiving some operations. This is transmitting and receiving is a core activity that will be performed by a single function earth station. This gateway stations will use the signal processing activity, that is, these gate stations will be used for signal processing, which is the major activity performed by gate stations. It will not only performing the core activity of uplinking and downlinking. A gateway station receives a large variety of terrestrial signals at any given time interval, and these signals may include telephone signals, television signals, and data streams, and so on. Different kinds of signals it may receive. Now these signals come in different formats, so that it uses various levels of multiplexing and telecommunication standards for processing purpose. A lot of signal manipulation activities will be carried out and need to be carried out on these signals before they are routed to the intended satellites. So the processing activity will be done by the gateway stations. There are both independent as well as satellite system owners gateway stations available for the communication. Antennas which are used at gateway stations working with a specific satellite systems need to be designed and manufactured in accordance with the standards required by the satellite fleet owner. This type of approved earth station equipment is a particular satellite system specific, is available from many of manufacturers. So gateway stations will do the signal processing activity before that signal will be routed to the intended satellites. The last type of function earth station is teleport. Teleport is a type of gateway station operated by different firms that are usually not a part of specific satellite system. Teleports are useful for those companies whose not too high requirements of satellite connectivity and does not justify having their own dishes. They are also useful for business houses located in crowded places and which is inhibiting line of sight to the satellite of interest due to the close proximity of another tall buildings or some of the other terrestrial obstacles in between them. So teleports are usually located on the outskirts of any city, and the connectivity from the subscriber company to the teleport station is usually provided through a hub. So all subscribers which are linked to the hub, and the hub in turn is connected to the teleport through a fiber optic cable, wired cable, or in case of wireless it will link through a microwave link. So in modern teleport stations are very versatile and often have a wide range of dishes conforming to the standards of many satellite operators, so as to be able to offer a wide range of services to the subscribers. The services offered by teleport stations typically includes format conversions, that may be encryption, or it may include production and post production, turnaround services, and even leasing transportable uplinks for temporary events. So this how the teleports will work. So till now we have seen what is an earth station, what are the different types of earth station, how we categorize these earth stations depending on the services provided. There are three kinds of earth stations: FSS, BSS and MSS, and depending on the functions that will be carried out by the earth station, they are again classified into the three types, that is single function stations, gateway stations and teleports. Okay, so in today's lecture we have seen how earth station will work and different types of the earth stations. In the coming lecture we will see what are the subsystems included into the earth station, so that will actually take place into the activities performed by the earth station.